Here we're going to be looking at hinge joints and ball and socket joints. So first of all, let's just remind ourselves what are the hinge joints in the body that we need to know about. And there are two of those. They are the knee and the elbow. And remember that hinge joints allow movement in one plane, that's flexion and extension. We'll look at those two movements again in a little while, but just be aware that there's kind of like a restricted movement just to flexion and extension. Now the other thing to be mindful of is this phraseology here, the articulating bones, which we've also met before. But the articulating bones means the bones which join to make a joint. So in this case, we need to know the names of the bones, the articulating bones at the knee. So what are the names of the bones that join to form the knee? And you've got a little diagram down here or image there to help you. So hopefully you'll remember what that big bone is there and what that bone is there as well. So the articulating bones at the knee are the femur and the tibia. So the tibia is this big bone here and the femur is this bone coming across here. Now you'll also notice that you've got the kneecap there as well, which is, you'll remember, called the patella. The patella sometimes is included as one of the articulating bones at the knee, but you don't necessarily need to know that. So just make sure that you've got the femur and the tibia as your articulating bones at the knee. And then we come over to the elbow. You can see you've got the long bone here and then you've got two other bones. Hopefully you can remember what they're called. So the articulating bones at the elbow are the humerus, that's this one here, and the radius and the ulna. So the lower arm, remember there are two bones in the lower arm. The radius is the one on the top and the ulna is the one underneath. Let's pop over and look at ball and socket joints. And hopefully again you can remember that the two locations that we need to be aware of that exist for the ball and socket joints are the shoulders and the hips. So again, here's our image of the shoulder. The articulating bones, the bones that join at the shoulder are the humerus, that's the long bone upper arm, and the scapula. You remember that's the shoulder blade. So humerus and scapula for the shoulder, and then for the hips, you've got the long bone here, the thigh bone, remember what that name is called, and the hip there. So it's the pelvis, that's this one here obviously, and the femur is the long bone there.